I'm not going to forget you.
For the final match of the day, we have North Carolina taking on Austin. Representing North Carolina, we have Taylor Crabb, Trevor Crabb, Taylor Sander, Bill Dalhausser, and John Sutton. On the side of Austin, you have Peter Connole, Stephen Roschitz, Silila Tucker, George Huhmann, and Austin Jacob.
And welcome back from the baseline. We are here for the 8th and final quarterfinal matchup of the day. It's been a day. This is match number 12 as we had 4 knockouts already. If you're joining us here for the first time, my name is Nick England. I'm joined by Michael Klinsman. We've been running the show all day long. We're coming to you live from Humboldt Civic Center Arena in Texas for the City versus City Fours Beach Volleyball Tournament. Michael, this one is gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Some crowd favorites here on both sides. What are you looking forward to most?
Dude, what an honor to be able to like get this close to like Olympian legends, like an amazing ball control players, like Phil with his first touch, like what an experience. Arguably one of the best players to ever play, if not the best.
It's going to be a big one to watch. Big rip there from Connole. Sander wasting no time going after Roschitz down the line. Slightly different lineup than we've seen. George Huhmann was not here yesterday. Adds a ton of size to this Austin lineup. Taylor Crabb with the jump spin. Well handled by Connole. And Huhmann, he definitely brings some size that this team is welcome to have when they're taking on the likes of Dalhausser over there.
Peter demonstrating some incredible control and serve receive right there. That is such a good pass.
Roschitz with a big one, well handled by Sander. Over the top, Silila Tucker all over that one. Connole looked like an open hand tip. They're calling that it was closed. We don't have a great angle. That's been a hotly contested subject here a couple times this weekend. North Carolina looking for some different calls, but not going to get them, and that's going to go the way of Austin, giving them a 2-1 lead here.
Steven Roschitz, known for his big jump serve, displaying it yet again.
Sander goes off the high outside hand of Huhmann. Also, fun fact, Roschitz is ambidextrous, so he will swing both right-handed and left-handed with great proficiency. We'll see if that one comes out this match.
It's amazing to be able to do that. Like, usually people commit to one arm so they can get more like hip drive and kinetic energy into the ball. He's just really adept at using both.
Sander, big jump. Handcuffs Huhmann, sends it out of bounds. Big point there for North Carolina.
Yeah, speaking of big jump serves, Taylor Sanders, arguably the biggest jump serve there is, leading the AVP multiple times in service aces.
Yeah, and he took a little break from the beach, played over in Indonesia for an indoor season, making his return. Back-to-back aces. George Huhmann quickly identified as the serving target. But yeah, Sander making his return pretty quick. Hasn't been back on the sand for very long, but clearly not missing a step.
Austin taking a shift step to their right.
Message received, sending that one right back at us. That's going to be the side swap, 4-3 for North Carolina. And that means it's time for George Huhmann to take the service line here. Huhmann leaves that one short and in the net. Right now, it seems like he might be the guy to go after. Huhmann to a little bit of a slow start.
I've seen a lot of teams go from like corner to corner, see if they can negotiate as much real estate as possible.
Give yourself a little more wiggle room. Maybe you can drop a ball short, but you know, give yourself a little more leniency on how you miss. Handled well by Connole.
Great up.
Trevor Crabb with a good dig to Taylor. That one overhead to Dalhausser. That was what we talked about earlier, getting the four guys on one side of the court. You can get that out-of-system approach, get all the way outside the court. Dalhausser has great vision as that ball comes over shoulder and gets a really aggressive swing on it. Well done by North Carolina. Kisses the tape again, and that's going to be another ace. Ace number 3 for North Carolina. They're going to stay very fresh. We already saw Austin have to play a battle-in match this morning. On the alternative, North Carolina had all day long to rest, so they are going to be very fresh. Huhmann getting targeted. Looks for the high hand, does not find it.
What a set by Steven across the court. Finding that right shoulder. Tough swinging error from George. See if they can spark a fire here.
Phil works George short. Tucker puts it up for Connole. Great step close. That's going to be a point for Austin. Connole float serve. Taylor gets his first swing of the game and just crafty shot to the right. Gets a nice cutty. Thumb down. Easy point.
That's got to be terrifying defensively to make eye contact with Taylor Crabb on his approach as he comes in.
Huhmann out of system. Tucker throws it back to Roschitz. Sander closes the door on that one. That's going to be a side switch. Great block move there from number 3, Taylor Sander. 10-4, North Carolina starting to run away with this one early. Huhmann gets a good pass. Goes to Connole. Connole finds the seam between Sander and Dalhausser and puts that one away. Very timely and much needed. Got to stop the bleeding here a little bit before it gets out of control early.
Peter has definitely been a shining light for this Austin team early.
Absolutely. Silila Tucker with a float serve. Overhead, Sander with a big swing. Dug one-handed by Connole. Connole back and fires away. A much needed earned point there for Austin. What a lip from the off blocker peel for Peter Connole. One-handed says it's easy. Tucker targets Taylor Crabb. Sanders says never twice. Let's keep this train moving.
Just the speed of his hand behind ball, so fast. Testament to his experience.
Taylor aggressive on the jump serve, sends that one long. Opportunity for Roschitz. He leaves that one short. And when we talk about those serves ultimately looking the same on the scoreboard, always love when someone misses long rather than in the net. Get a chance. Maybe a defender sticks a hand out. Sander goes off speed there. Roschitz does not. Hammers that one through the block. Finds that back line. Huhmann targets Taylor Crabb. Touch on block, touch in the back row. Huhmann goes for that one, unable to come up with it, and that's going to lead us to our technical timeout at 13-8. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we will be right back as North Carolina takes on Austin, Texas.
Yes, they were. Well, once again, though, that was when I first made it, 2018. So I haven't spoken to them since then. I'm going to try that.
Back into it here after that technical timeout. 13-8. North Carolina with a 5-point lead. Phil Dalhausser on the back line. Connole swings. I think that got left short. Touch gets called. Huhmann gets a point from the right side. I didn't see that one go. There's a bit of a discussion. I was surprised there was less arguing mid-rally, but a couple thoughts shared from the side of North Carolina. We had a pretty good view on that one. It was between the blockers, so I would have thought it would have gone over had it been above the height of the net. So, tough call. Option. Trevor definitely acknowledged how quickly that ball was coming to the tape. Heads up play by him. We talk about awareness and experience. We talked about how much San Diego had in the last match. There is no team more experienced on the sand than these guys right here. Crabb targeting Huhmann. Roschitz no blocker up. Taylor Sander, man, he hits that ball harder than we've seen from anyone all day. It just pops off his hand.
I don't know if you can see it in the broadcast, but it just is such a visual difference in how fast his arm is moving. It's unreal.
Looked like Silila went for a back set there. I don't think that was trying to send it over on a cheeky two. Hard to tell, but it didn't go either way. And that's going to force a timeout from Austin. A bit out of sorts at the moment. See if a little conversation can bring that back together. But we're going to take a breather, down 7 here, and come back shortly. Be right back. Trevor Crabb back to get us going here once again. He has been going down the line after George Huhmann all match long. See if that continues here. And indeed it does. Works him short. Connole step close. Great roll shot over the double block of Sander and Dalhausser. There was no other choice. The fact that he found any court at all was shocking there.
Peter maintaining a confident presence.
They need it. He's playing very well right now. Taken by Dalhausser overhead. High line roll from Sander. 17-10.
Taylor Crabb back to serve.
Opting for the float serve here. Just making sure George Huhmann is passing every single ball. Huhmann with a great swing down the line, beats the block of Dalhausser. That'll be side swaps.
Checking the service rotation is Team Austin. Looking like Steven Roschitz is back to serve.
Yep, there was a little conversation there. Connole and Roschitz are typically beach partners in doubles. A lot of communication between those two about where they're targeting, who they're going after. Big touch, tracked down by Roschitz. Tucker to Huhmann. Huhmann off the high hands, picked up by Trevor Crabb. Taylor takes setting responsibilities and just sends that one. A little brotherly love. If you know anything about Trevor Crabb, he's got a couple choice words for Taylor there too.
He will not be forgetting about that point for weeks, for sure.
Nope, but they've got a buffer that's a little inconsequential unless Roschitz can keep stringing a couple together here. But that's a great start. Gets some movement on that float. Catches Dalhausser sleeping back there. 2 points.
A timely team emotional support hug after the.
You hear that
13th
comment
point.
out of respect. Roschitz walking back the camera says you don't see that one very often, but he would love to see it 3 or 4 more times here. And he goes back for it. Sander hits line. Peter Connole not leaving much of it, but still Sander just punching that one through. 18-13.
Just seems like Taylor has the ball in the right spot of his approach every single time, like where he's taking off behind ball and flowing into it. It's so rare to see indoor players not broad jumping, like over jumping the ball.
So I can tell you personally, Taylor and I are the same age. We grew up playing each other in indoor every single weekend. That is something that has never changed. His feet to ball, he's always been on the cutting edge of what's the fastest, most tempo set. That's always been who he is. So it was no surprise to see him make that adjustment to the beach. Difference being, he's out there doing that and I'm sitting here with a mic talking about him. So no real shocks there, but he's always been good at that for 20 years now. He was also crushing it on the beach at youth, playing with John Karumpus, who went on to play libero at UC Irvine. And so, it wasn't like he just randomly switched from indoor. He had a lifetime experience, so no shock there.
I heard a great quote from him. It was like, there's no such thing as a bad set. Like his feet to ball, just changing the dynamic of what would traditionally be considered as, I guess, a bad set, quote unquote.
Makes it a lot easier also when you're, if that's your viewpoint, you never get a bad set. You're not waiting to complain to a setter. But
yes.
Good side out there from the side of Austin. Down 15-19. They're keeping it close. Unfortunately, I think they're a little late in this set to make a move, but keep that momentum going. See if they can make something work for them. Great cover by Trevor Crabb. Taylor keeps it live. Dalhausser swings it back in. Tucker option on 2. Not able to bring it back. What a play by North Carolina, but props to Austin staying even-keeled, level-headed, and they earn the point. That one sent every single guy on North Carolina off the court in different directions. Playing a game of hot potato there.
Peter back to serve.
Trying to work Dalhausser short, leaves it too short. 2016, set point on set number 1. And if history has told us anything, Trevor Crabb serving George Huhmann down the line. Tucker goes to Connole. Little 1-2 off both blockers there. Connole has been absolutely lights out for Austin. We have not seen anyone attack as effectively as he has out of the middle all day long. They've got to get him as many opportunities to swing. That is definitely going to be the key for Austin if they want to extend this one out to 3 sets.
Yeah, such a rare skill set as well. Like, I guess your traditional, back row ball control with, the bigger frame. Hard matchup to stop.
In system, Sander gets a chance. 2 blockers, goes high over, finds the corner, and that's going to do it for set number 1, 21-17. North Carolina takes that one. We might only have one more set here on this Saturday quarterfinal qualifier day. We'll have to see when we come back. We'll be right back in 1 minute's time. And time for set number 2 to get underway. A quick thank you to our sponsors, without whom this weekend would not be happening. Thank you, Waste Connections, Liberty Materials, Mikasa Volleyball, Jump Serve, Volleyball USA, and Sanderac. Your support is unrivaled, and thank you for making City versus City a reality this weekend here in Humble, Texas. Underway, Connole takes first ball. George Huhmann swings, finds the hole. Too much for Taylor Crabb to handle there. Trevor unable to track it down. One serving 0. Silila Tucker serving once again.
Fun history lesson. Leela's dad was Casey Patterson's first AVP partner.
Really?
So a lot of history in that family. Leela, an incredible, he used to live in Houston, and just an incredible, like, history and talent behind the game, like almost robotic defensive player.
That is quite the fun fact. Consider myself educated.
I love that.
Sander serving that one long, going for that top spin. Austin still in the lead, 2-1. Take the leads when you can get them, extend them where you can. Early real points for Austin will definitely go a long way. They need to build them up as early as possible. Float serve targeting Dalhausser. And Trevor goes back to Sander, puts that one away. Two different schools of thought here. I think in general, there's no real reason to serve Taylor Crabb. They're having some good success serving Dalhausser. Do you keep bringing him forward, or Sanders clearly the guy they want to set? Do you make him pass and hit? I think it's two different schools of thought. 4s makes it a little different than the 2s normally would, but interesting to keep an eye on here in set number 2. Connole gets the set, and for the first time that I can recall today, there's a hitting error from the arm of Peter Connole.
It's an interesting point you brought up as well, because it's like the meta right now, like being served the right side, so we get the setter like usually going over their shoulder. Leela making the adjustment going from the other side of the court. That'll be a fun counter.
Oh, I hadn't even noticed that. That's a good call, which, again, interesting because it speaks to, I would then think that George Huhmann is his go-to outlet hitter there. And based on performance, I'm not sure that that's, I'm not sure that I'm making the same assessment here with Roschitz and Connole out there. So we'll see.
Might be the same thing too as Houston, like trying to feed the hitter, get him a little rhythm. That'll hopefully pay off later in the set. We'll see how it pans out.
That one trickles over the net, and that's going to be a 5-2 lead for North Carolina. A very quick reversal of fortunes. 4 straight points off of the serve of Dalhausser. Float serve goes long. A sigh of relief for all the Austin fans out there. It means it's time for George Huhmann to get his serving game on. Good pace on that jump serve, but perfect pass. Dalhausser to swing, dug by Roschitz. Tucker to Huhmann. That set gets called from Tucker. Always a tough one. That's what ends your rally when you get a great stop on defense like Roschitz did with that dig. Tough to swallow that pill, but you know, you just got to have tough skin, go back out there and do it again. Trevor targeting George once again. Tucker with the jump pump, tries to pull a blocker, slows the block down enough that Huhmann's able to score that one well.
What an adjustment, going from the handset to the jump bump. I love that creativity out of Leela.
Good off speed there from Connole. I like the controlled jump serve. Gator dig from Tucker. Shoots it to the corner. Crabb to Dalhausser. Dalhausser goes lefty on that one. Connole attacks. Sander gets a little handcuffed as the off blocker. There was some pretty incredible volleyball moves there. A couple words I haven't said all day. Silila Tucker with the Gator. First one I've seen, I think, during our quarterfinals today. Connole with another top spin. Good pass by Sander. He gets the chance to swing. Smashes high hands there, goes over the block and over the defender. Not as much a tall task when you're jumping and hitting as high point of contact as Sander is. Crabb going short, kisses the net on the way by. Connole to Huhmann, and there it is. George Huhmann starting to warm up a little bit here in the second set. They're going to need that size. I mean, if he's out there, clearly a serving target for North Carolina, so now you want to see the offensive output. 6-7, Austin answering back very well here in the second set.
Yeah, if George can balance this service pressure with this offensive proficiency, Austin is going to be in a great spot. Great serve by Leela.
Option goes over from Trevor. Roschitz goes to George overhead. Off of the right side armpit there of Sander. That's a very, very heads-up play from every guy on Austin. George swinging a little blind on that one, kind of assuming that Sander's going to be diving into that angle, taking court away. So heads up to keep rotating, go a little more line, gets a healthy bounce off the shoulder or armpit region there of Sander. 7-7. Tucker goes once again at Taylor Crabb. That one goes wide. No touch, I'm very certain, because all 10 fingers are still on both of those blockers' hands. That wasn't a swing for the court, that was a swing for hands.
I would hate to be that hand that it finds there. That was a powerful rip.
Going after the seam, handled well by Dalhausser. Sanders steps in to take. Dalhausser beats the inside of that block from Huhmann and Connole. Any insight on what the discussion is there? Is that the cleanliness of the hands from Sander?
That was the general discussion, was whether it was a lift or double contact. Me personally, I don't think that it was.
I didn't think so either. So that's where I was looking for a little more insight from you, because I didn't have much. It all looked pretty good.
It did look like at point of contact, ball did dip a little bit, but that could have been in the inward rotation of the palm
Still
rather
sinking.
than being, yeah, exactly. Very typical of the sand game as a whole. I think the ref made the right call.
Roschitz long by a foot. Game ball touches back here in the commentator booth.
Another immaculate view of these cool jerseys coming back to the camera. Love that for us.
Dalhausser targeting Huhmann. High ball, one-on-one. Might as well have been nobody. George Huhmann buries that one. He is certainly waking up here in the second. Maybe had a little nerves in the first one, got aced a couple times. He's settling in. Just long. Both these teams starting to heat up on the service line, getting aggressive with those top spins. 10-10.
Taylor with the Matrix level dodge there on that jump serve. Well done.
Make sure you don't get hit on the way by. Huhmann's the option. Off speed, picked up by Crabb. Sander takes 2. Off the hand, recovered by Trevor. Taylor finishes that one with authority.
Brings us to the technical timeout at 11, serving 10. North Carolina is up against Austin. If you are just joining us, thank you for being here. You are welcome. This is good for the City v City Fours Challenge. We hope you have a great time. Out of the technical timeout, North Carolina up 11-10. Again, some really notable AVP athletes coming into play. What an honor for us to watch.
Back underway, Trevor Crabb to serve. Targeting Huhmann, gets him that time. Tucker sends it over. Free ball opportunity. Sander swings line. Dug by Roschitz, goes over. Dalhausser goes high hand. Roschitz throws a punch, but not gonna work for him.
Trevor Crabb back to serve.
Trevor goes against the grain there, and he pays the price. Targeting Huhmann's worked well for him all day long, and now he hits it with a changeup.
You could say he's only human.
I'm struggling to give you that one.
Gotta sprinkle in a dip.
Yeah, you can hear it. It's been 8 matches. Connole with a good jump serve there. Dalhausser on the outside, rolled over the top, picked up by Roschitz to extend the rally.
Other than that touch, Steven has been really proficient defensively in this set.
Yeah, I could not agree more. He's finding a lot of big digs, a lot on the line, especially to slow things down. Tucker goes back. Connole over the top, but picked up. Trevor to Taylor. Oh. Taylor to Sand. Oh my goodness.
I like what you said earlier, Nick, about like the experience of players lending itself to proficiency in serve receive. Steven Roschitz and Peter Connole definitely locked down that service rotation there. Great passing by them.
12-14, Austin's not out of it yet. Only down by 2. Real points, that is the name of the game. Where can they extend their serving runs? Great rip by Silila Tucker. Dalhausser, step, close. My goodness. That one just had experience written all over it. Goes thumb down, chops that one short, and absolutely cooks the defense of Austin.
A gold medal winner with Todd Rogers. Incredible experience.
There it is, Peter Connole right up the middle. We'd seen him starting to swing more on the pins, but I like how effective he had been out of the middle. I think it gives him more options, especially because no one all day long has been that successful. Don't inhibit what Roschitz can also then contribute on the pin. I think you give yourself a little bit more options, but We'll see how this goes on the side of Austin, down by 2, 13 serving 15. Dalhausser with a gimme pass, only one option, but the only option North Carolina needs.
It's a great set by Trevor Crabb, too, giving great height and transition. Well done.
Float serve short to Huhmann. Wow, Peter Connole. Give him hard angle. He'll take hard angle. We got a little shift in the sands with that swing. He absolutely unloaded on that. Great bit of vision to see the outside hand of Sander and get around it. 14-16. Overhead to Sander. Sander returns fire. The battle of the pins right now. First yellow card issued to Peter Connole. Did not like that overhead set from Trevor to Taylor. He's been critical of some of the calls on the hands, and our upper ref had heard his piece and flashed a little yellow badge. So play will continue. Trevor Crabb working Roschitz short. Connole with a shot, picked up by Taylor, but just wide. Textbook read by Crabb.
Austin considering the ball doesn't like call after that play. That was a great shot.
15 serving 17 here. They're going to need to make sure Connole doesn't lose his head, though. He's been a huge part of this effort from Austin. All the court in the world to the left, and Sander cuts it back short right. Great bit of vision there. Nothing Austin can do about that shot. Taylor resumes picking on George Huhmann down the line there. A big dig, and Trevor tries to track that one down, but our scorekeeping crew off camera there couldn't get out of the way fast enough. Shout out to all the volunteers and sponsors that have made this weekend happen. Michael, somebody handed us some microphones. Don't know why that one happened. We're out here having a good time. Thanks to everyone on the City vs. City staff for making it happen. They got some of the best talent from all over the country out here showing Forest volleyball can be all about. Dalhausser off the inside hand there of Peter Connole, and that's going to be a timeout called on the side of Austin. 19-16. This one looks like it might just be in the history books, but a little time left for Austin.
As this set lulls down, it has been an absolute pleasure calling with you here. Nick England, great to meet you. I appreciate all of y'all's presence online, tuning in. Definitely brings so much to the sport having you here. Taylor Brack to serve.
Leaves that one short on the side switch. Here's the opportunity. You know, Austin's really going to need to push a real point, maybe two, because on the side out, it's going to be match point for North Carolina. So now is kind of that window. Roschitz makes something happen. Handled well by Taylor. Gets the high hand touch.
The honesty call from George Huhmann.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one. So surprised that was required, but the right call was made all the same. And that's going to bring us to match point 20-17 with Phil Dalhausser on the back line. Float goes short. Tucker goes to Connole. And there it is. Once again, Peter Connole showing just how much range he has. He is burying those 3, 4, 5 feet off the net. He is going some insanely sharp angles here.
He has such a rare like windmill elbow swing. So proficient in this format.
18 serving 20. Huhmann drops it short, picks up a clutch ace. Very timely all match long. I'm not sure we've seen a single ace against North Carolina. And to bring it out at 18-20, bringing them to 19-20 for Austin. And that's going to be a timeout called on the side of North Carolina. They want some time to think about that one. I want some time to think about the breath I am going to catch. It has been 8 long matches.
Yes, it has.
Hang with us. We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
They shot it out to get to 18. I was trying to do that when I was on the stand just to clue myself in too.
And we're back to see if George can get us another ace for Team Austin, serving North Carolina.
Puts that one in, keeps it safe. Back to Sander. A block touch to slow it down, but not nearly enough. And that's going to do it. North Carolina takes set number 2, 21-19. A lot of resilience shown from Team Austin, coming out battling back after a tough first set. But at the end of the day, the team with the experience in blue, North Carolina, prevails. And that's going to be the final quarterfinal match for today. We've got 4 semifinals, 2 men's, 2 women coming your way tomorrow. The winners of those will, of course, square off for our championship, which means you've got 6 more exciting matches of volleyball here tomorrow. Be sure to share a link, tell a friend, be a friend. We'll be back here tomorrow with plenty more volleyball. I'm Nick England, joined by Michael Klinsman from everyone here at City vs. City. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow.